Hello everyone, Cheppandis Cheputulsule Dukadu. Hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. My name is Shubham Sagar and today we will do Hindu analysis of 25th September 2025. So good morning Prateek. Hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. And yes sir, just let me check if I'm audible and visible. You can post it in the comment section that I'm audible and visible. So, yes, sir. Where were we? Good morning, Mamta. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, so I can hear myself. So let's start without wasting any time. Yesterday I gave you people 2 questions as homework. So this is MCQ 12. We have done 11 questions as classwork. What is cold start? What is the basic meaning of the term cold start? So as Pratik is stating, I am loud and clear. So let's do it fast. Chepundi is the answer. That means tell me the answer. Cold Start is a test nuclear weapon delivery system. It assesses drones and counter drone system along with air defense capabilities, conduct amphibious operations on coastal areas, evaluate cyber warfare. Good morning, Harshini. Good morning, Anandu. And good morning, Maths with Kiri. So yes, as Pratik has stated, the answer is assess drone and counter drone system along with air defense capabilities. We have done cold start revised yesterday Hindu analysis. If you haven't, under which section of Indian Penal Code, which has now become BNS, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, is criminal defamation punishable? We have talked about this defamation thing yesterday. We had discussion on this as well. Good morning, Gajanan. Many of you were like, no, 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 criminal defamation should stay. And we were having a debate. I was saying something, you were saying something else. So, under which section of erstwhile IPC this defamation thing lied? So, Pratik, Gajana, and Mamta, Anandu, all of you have given the answer. You people are so good, just like a wow. So, what is the answer of MCQ 13? The answer is section 499 and 500 of erstwhile IPC. It deals with, or it dealt with, criminal defamation. Now section 350s of this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, it deals with defamation now. So that is the whole thing. And yes sir, please revise all these things. So MCQ 12 answer is B. MCQ 13 answer is D. Let's come back to the present and let's talk about the first article of the day. Page number 12. How are courts protecting personality rights? I think many of you, Pratik has given the answer very good here. So many of you may have been following this news. Abhishek means Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, whom we all love. She went to court to protect her personality rights. Then her husband followed suit, as normally husbands do. And this has happened. And not only this, even earlier, Anil Kapoor, who is known as the hair king. Oh my god, we shouldn't be saying that because he has so much hair in our body. So this is a fad right now that you clean and you have no hair on your chest. Anil Kapoor sir, look at him. That's how normal human beings are made. Okay, let's focus. So Anil Kapoor sir, he also did the copyright thing of took the personality rights, which also included his term called chakas. So what are these personality rights? What is the basic rationale behind these personality rights? We have to understand. And via this, we'll go into different domains, copyright, trademark, and all those domains. So this is an article. It's not only about Article 21, right to privacy, blah blah blah. Then there is Article 19 also involved here. 19 clause 1, then article 19 clause 2. This will also take you to science IPR, intellectual property rights, which we have talked about earlier. Different types of IPR, if you remember. And if you haven't, we will talk about it. Copyright, patent, trademark, intellect means GI tag, how they are different from each other. So there are so many things, and this particular article is a fusion of polity and science and tech. So what is happening here? Recently Delhi High Court has, and then there are terms like revenge porn, and then I have also seen deep fake. I don't know how many of you have seen it, but on YouTube I have seen two celebrities. Good morning, GYN. So two celebrities doing something and which they cannot do. So these are all deep fake. All these things are happening on our web. Okay, and that is not good. So Delhi High Court is saying that no, personality rights has to be protected. Then there is another argument of this whole personality right protection, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Abhishek Bachchan, etc. Can we not make comments on them? Is it impinging on right to freedom of speech and expression? So you have to understand here what is what they are seeking protection from, and can we use them for commercial purpose? There are different terms involved here. There are different intricacies involved here. So has been granted to Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Abhishek Bachchan, Karan Johar over misuse of image, voice via AI generated content and merchandise. So AI generated content is fun. Like, you can understand. You may have seen it. How many of you have seen different images, which is very bad, which we cannot explicitly say. Two celebrities doing something which they have not done, created by AI. So that is, they want a tab on that. Obviously, if I see my AI entity doing certain stuff which I have not done, I will feel bad. Then there is another term, merchandise. Merchandise means you may have seen some billboard somewhere that Amitabh Bachchan is promoting something which he may not have promoted. So that is the merchandise thing. Sometimes what happens, these people, their images are taken to promote something which they haven't promoted. So there also they need protection. So even Jack Ishraf, he's like, impersonation is being done, but it should not be done that it is hurting my sentiments of pride and this and that. Yesterday we have talked about defamation. This is not exactly defamation, but you can understand, and you will understand each and everything once we go through this article. So there is a talk about personality rights, which is anyway there. You have right to, means Article 21, which UPSC loves, right to privacy. UPSC has asked two PYQs on Article 21, right to privacy, one in 2024, one in 2021. We'll have a look at that one by one. So what are these personality rights? Names, image, voice, and it's not only about image. These and this, like we have discussed Shah Rukh Khan, he has also protected his personality rights. He has protected his SRK logo, and we have talked about Anil Kapoor, Jhakas. So, and again, Amitabh Bachchan, he has protected his signature. So, if anybody is using his signature, he has to give some monetary compensation or take permission from Amitabh Bachchan or both. So, do we have personality rights oh my God, explicitly defined in some law? The answer is no. We have, common law doctrines, we have right to privacy, we have Copyright Act, we have different Supreme Court judgments, but we don't have a single law which defines what is your personality right, what is my personality right, of your understanding. And it's not only about celebrities. Our one day can come when even we people are being shown doing something which we haven't done. We all have enemies, right? So these personality rights are very important. Now here there are terms. Court can grant injunction. What is the meaning of this term, injunction? Injunction means court can tell you to do something, or court can tell you not to do something. That is injunction. We have to understand these technical words, they are important. So statutory basis, as we have discussed, there is no single law. There is no single law. We need a single law. I think we should have a single law. So there are terms written somewhere: copyright, exclusive right. Now, before we talk about copyright, trademark, can any of you people tell me what is the basic difference between copyright, trademark, patent, GI tag? Number of questions which has been asked on these terms has been huge, and they are related to your IPR part of GS mains paper 3. So if you know it, post it in the comment section. And you should know the meaning of these terms. Anyone? What is the basic difference between copyright, trademark, patent, and GI tag? So what is copyright? And first of all, patent. So let's say Novartis is a company. I keep on talking about it. It makes drugs in India, medicines in India. So they have their unique API for each medicine, active pharmaceutical ingredients. In simple terms, raw materials for medicines. And for different medicines, raw materials will vary. So they will take a patent for these API. So patent generally given for drugs, medicines, right? Then you have trademark. Trademark is what? Parle G. They have their own unique trademark. Britannia and all different companies will have their different trademark. What is copyright? So copyright is A.R. Rahman. He composed a song. Somebody composed the music. So that is copyright. Then what is GI tag? Certain things which is unique to a particular region. You know, particular region. Darjeeling tea, or you have Bengal Rasagulla, Odisha's Rasagulla. So they get GI tag for a specific period, that is, let's say, 10 years. So these are certain terms which are important. So personality rights covered under Copyright Act, exclusive rights. So I have done something, that performance, if somebody is using it, they have to take my permission. And again, Trademark Act. We can trademark our name, signature, and catchphrases, as we have discussed. Anil Kapoor has trademark his catchphrase Jhakas. Jackass. Shah Rukh Khan has trademark his, like this one. SRK, he has a trademark over it. Priyanka Chopra has trademarked his name. So these things are important. Harshini Singh, copyright artistic creation, trademark symbols. GI tag recognizes unique geographical origin and character. Harshini is such a good girl. Oh my God, really good. And constitutional basis, Article 21, right to privacy. There you have. But we don't have any single law. It is spread here, there, and everywhere. Then there were different judgments, as we have discussed in judicial precedents also, it has been talked about. So, and again, you have to remember this. In different exams, they can ask you this. Our Rajagopal case deals with what? It recognizes right to control identity use as part of privacy rights. My identity is my identity. Nobody can use it. Anil Kapoor, he used this term. many people were using this jackass, and he did not like it. He was the one who popularized it, so he took a copyright over it. And again, genuine satire and criticism. Now, please understand, please understand, please understand. When we are talking about, good morning, Anshika, when we are talking about personality rights, we are not saying you cannot criticize them. Criticize them all you want, and that criticism is allowed under Article 19 clause 1. We are just saying that commercial exploitation you will not do. You will not then use them in, let's say, revenge porn. That's awesome. That's so stupid, right? Commercial exploitation means you are criticizing him, or you are making a satire of him, Kapil Sharma show, but you cannot use Amitabh Bachchan billboard in a ad which he has not done. So that is commercial exploitation, that is not allowed. Jackie Shroff also took, and again, you cannot use his image, etc., in different ways. Securing a patent grants exclusive rights to an invention process, effectively protecting it from unauthorized use or application. Really good, Pratik. Really, really good. So again, Arjit Singh case. Now these days, I think there was a case of A.R. Rahman also, where he produced voices from AI, produced music from AI. Arjit Singh's voice has been cloned. Obviously, man, Arjit Singh charges crores rupees for his concert and everything. If his voice is cloned, everything is gone. How will he earn his money? How will he earn his bread? So all these things comes under personality rights. So we're understanding where we are going with this article rather. So personality rights versus free speech. Many people are like, if we, give personality rights, Jackie Sraf can, or Shroff can, or Anil Kapoor can feel bad about certain stuff. So is it stifling free expression? The answer is no. You have Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A, which protects criticism, parody, and satire of public figures. Do as much as you want, but within a limit, and don't use them for commercial purpose, and don't use it in a derogatory manner beyond a certain point. Right? So there are certain caveats. Freedom of speech and expression is anyway not absolute. You have Article 19, Clause 2, which puts restrictions on freedom of speech and expression to a certain limit. So you can do criticism, parody, that is not the point. DM entertainment, caution against overemphasis on publicity rights. Then what will happen if we are, giving too much importance to personality rights? Maybe criticism, etc., will be stifled to a certain extent. So key concern. So everything is very fragmented. We need a personality law. We need a specific personality law. This whole, copyright, trademark, Article 21, this will not do. GYN, patent use, people come to Kerala and bring Ayurveda medicine formula, return tickets after they are trademark, finally to charge patent as okay. So there are different terms. They are also evergreening of patents, GYN, compulsory licensing. So we'll talk about them later on. I can understand where you're coming with this. So there are misuse of patent also, which is known as evergreening of patents. In evergreening of patents, what happens? Let's say that there's a company called Novartis. So they made a drug or medicine, and they have an API. They will keep 99.9% of the API same, raw material same. They will just change 0.1%, and they will take a new means patent. So that is evergreening of patent. So there are misuse which happens, and you will understand that sooner, and we'll talk about it. That's a different matter altogether. So experts call for a comprehensive, like you can see all these things, and it's not only about big people. These big people, they don't have personality. They don't only have personality rights. We have personality rights too. So it applies to us also. There has been many cases of revenge porn. Hope you understand what is revenge porn. So in revenge porn, deepfakes. I have just told you, YouTube, two celebrities doing something which they have never done. Revenge porn. So I have certain, like two people are were intimate some at some time. They recorded something, and that thing is put on the internet without the permission of the other party. So that is revenge porn. So all these things we have to have a tab on. So hope you understood what this article is talking about, and this will keep on evolving. This whole personality right thing, especially US people, sir. Very good, GYR. Now let's solve this particular question. MCQ1 based on whatever we have read. So personality rights in India are primarily derived from single codified statute, common law principles and judicial precedents, United Nations conventions, copyright alone. Harshini has given the answer. Mamta has given the answer. Pratik has given the answer. Anandu, Jiva, and all of you have given the answer. So the answer is common law principles and judicial precedent as stated by all of you. Very good. MCQ 2. Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A of the Constitution guarantees what? Anshika has also given the answer. Very good, very good, very good. So Harshini, Prateek, Anandu, all of you have given the answer for. Mamta has given the answer for Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A. It guarantees freedom of speech and expression. So D is the answer. Anshika, Gajanan, all of you have given the answer. Very good. MCQ 3. In the context of personality rights, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A protects what? And that's how you remember fundamental rights, you know. Some people are like, remember all fundamental rights in Part 3 from Article 12 to 35 all at once. No. The more you do these articles, the more you're able to remember them. So Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A protects what? Harshini, Prateek, they have given the answer. It protects satire, parody, and criticism of public figures. You may get confused between A and B here. Commercial exploitation. It does not protect commercial exploitation. That's so weird, you know. Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A is about freedom of speech and expression. 19, Clause 2 is about restriction. So it protects freedom of speech and expression. It protects satire, parody, and criticism. You can do it, but to a certain limit. B is not the answer, Anshika. It protects satire, parody. You can do these things. B is the exact opposite of it. So Harshini, Prateek, Mamta, Gajanan, Anshika also tried it. Jivan, they gave the answer. Really good. Next article of the day, which is an editorial which talks about so many things, and it talks about salt overload, it talks about HFSS. We'll talk about HFSS, and it talks about how we are very much concerned about sugar use. You know, I don't eat sugar. You will see celebrities saying that. I don't use oil. You know, I use this and that. So, but the author, these two guys, they're two people who have written it. They're saying that we should similarly focus on salt because whatever WHO mandates, you know, let's say WHO mandates 5 to 6 gram per day we should eat, we eat around 10 to 11 grams. I'm the worst person to make and, you know, talk about this whole thing. Why I am the worst person to talk about this editorial? Because I am a guilty party to this. I eat a lot of salt. Let's say I take something to eat, so I will have that food, then I will take additional salt, then I need to have a cold drink, and that's how I will eat my food. This is a worst way of doing that. I don't eat much, but whenever I'm eating, this is my thing, which is so wrong. And then here they will talk about some different things also, rock salt, etc. People are promoting it. Then there is another thing that, you know, if you're not taking salt, you can suffer from a particular disease, especially iodized salt. What is the name of that particular disease? Anybody, do you know it? Again, there will be keywords here, there will be terms here which we have to understand from exam perspective. So focus on high sugar and oil. We talk about it, but we never talk about salt. Do you people consume more salt? Anyone? Like anybody, or you people don't consume that much salt? Who is a guilty party? I'm a guilty party. So now this whole thing, high sugar oil consumption and even salt consumption, can lead to rise of non-communicable disease. Again, there is a term here. What is the difference between communicable disease? Very good, Pratik, goiter. So communicable and non-communicable. Non-communicable means it cannot be transmitted from one people to another people. So you have blood pressure, you have, you know, diabetes. All these are non-communicable disease. Communicable diseases which can be transmitted. Let's say you are doing coughing and sneezing, so that is communicable disease. So we need to understand the, yeah. And Anshika is also eating salt. So not only, many of you may say it, many of you may not, but Indian adults consume twice than what WHO recommends. I'm a guilty party, and it comes from many. Sometimes we don't even realize pickles, papad, and all, they also contain salt. Then there is concept of invisible salt. Visible salt we can see, right? Invisible salt, it can be anything. You know, you can say that invisible salt is there in vegetable. That is not we are talking about. We're talking about what is there in breads, cookies, ketchups, cakes, pastries. So this is invisible salt. Do remember the word. They can ask you the basic meaning of the term invisible salt. What is invisible salt? Cool. And you're eating out in restaurants, they are adding a restaurant, they're adding salt. Hope you understood where we are going with this. High salt, hypertension, you know, blood pressure. We need to reduce salt intake. I need to reduce salt intake. 28% of Indian adults, these numbers, you have to cite them when you're writing a mains answer. 28 out of 100 people suffering from, you know, high salt intake. Not good, man. Not good for our blood pressure, diabetes, nothing. And again, salt reduction, cost effective intervention. So diabetes is basically about sugar, but hope you can understand. So, and there is another thing. If we reduce salt consumption, so let's say we are investing $1 in reducing salt consumption. How? We will find alternatives. Let's say, like, you know, when you are thinking about sugar, you're thinking about cake. So you try to alternate it with, let's say, buying apples. Apple does also have sugar, natural sugar, but it is somewhat better than eating a cake. So similarly, if we are reducing salt by doing something, $1 investment in salt reduction will yield $12 in return. These are good figures, you know. So we should invest in salt reduction. That's what they are saying. Myth around healthier salt. And plus, like, there are rock salt, black salt, Himalayan pink salt. Many of you may have been using it, but they don't contain sufficient iodine rather. So they may be healthier in some aspect, but they can lead to iodine deficiency. As who was saying, Pratik was saying, na, iodine deficiency leads to goiter. So you have to take care of that, but it doesn't mean even small amount of salt will do. Iodized salt will do. So you don't have to go for these fancy salt. They don't have enough iodine. So what we need to do? HFSS strategy. We shouldn't be focusing only on sugar and oil. Focus on sugar, salt, and, like, you know, salt, sugar, and high fat. Focus on all of them. Salt is one component, sugar is another component, and fat is another component, which is there in oil. Public awareness, promote gradual. Again, you can see all these things. I'm not reading. Early intervention in children. Salt test is required. Like my daughter's son, he is when he becomes greater than 6 months, we started giving him solid food, so he will acquire the taste of salt, but then you have to start reducing salt. No added salt for babies under 1 year. I hope you can understand, this has to start early. The earlier, like, I have developed a habit, I eat a lot of salt, it's very difficult to reduce it. But if a children is eating lesser salt from, you know, starting only, then it's easier. Salt regulation in Anganwadi and all those things, wherever you have midday schemes in procurement, also reduce it, regulate it. It's a epidemic. And mandatory warning labels, like you have, you know, it has tobacco and all those stuff in those products. Similarly, if you have some goods which is having sufficient amount of salt ceilings, put it, and adopt mandatory warning labels like Chile is doing. South American country, we can learn from them. So that is what they are saying. National multi-sectoral action plan. Again, there's a keyword here. Keep it in mind. The time period 2017 to 2022, they were focusing on NCD, curbing NCD, non-communicable disease. So they should also focus on reducing salt, sugar, and oil consumption. And they are doing that, and they should keep on doing that. So that's what they are saying. And we have to reduce salt intake sooner rather than later. That's what this editorial is talking about. So now let's solve some more questions. This is based on previous article. This is a PYQ asked by UPSC in 2024. Very good, Jiva. Under which of the following articles of Constitution of India has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy? Harshini, Anandu, Anshika, all of you have given the answer. Mamta has given the answer. The answer is Article 21. Very good. MCQ 5. Invisible salt, which we were talking about in this editorial, it refers to what? And here you have to answer from article's perspective. So this is also CSAT, reading comprehension. You don't have to use your knowledge. In this editorial, invisible salt was about what? Very good, Anshika, you know, Harshini, Anandu, Anshika, Mamta, Jiva, and Pratik, and Gajanan. What is invisible salt? So Harshini, Pratik, Mamta, Gajanan, Anandu, all of you have given the answer. The answer is salt present in processed or packaged food, not visible to the consumer. Very good. C is the answer, Anshika. So again, MCQ 6. Which of the following measures can help reduce salt intake in the community? Option elimination. Removing salt shakers from restaurant tables, conducting weekly reviews of high salt items in kitchens, mandatory front of pack warning labels on processed food, encouraging consumption of rock salt instead of regular salt. So Harshini has given the exam answer. Mamta, I think, wants to say A is the answer. Gajanan has stated the answer. We know rock salt consumption is not the answer. It does not have enough iodine. You know, so that is a problem here. These fancy salt is not the answer. So if you eliminate four, you're getting the point. sorry, you're getting the answer removing salt shakers, because if you have salt shakers on these tables, not only restaurant tables, your tables also, you will consume more weekly reviews and this. So these are all commonsensical points, right? Fourth is wrong. We have just discussed about fourth one is a myth. So the answer is A, 1, 2 and 3 only, as stated by Harshini. I think Mamta also wanted to say that. Gajanan, Pratik, Jeevayan, Anshik also tried it, Anandu also tried it. Not all of the above. Anandu, rock salt is not the answer. It does not have enough iodine. So again, like, share and subscribe, and we'll talk about all these things later on. Let's focus on the third article of the day, which is about lay protest. So lay protest has turned deadly. Ministry is blaming activist. And which activist? Who was responsible for the movie Three Idiots? And Shuman Sonam Wangchuk. We'll talk about it. So here there are terms: lay protest. Two major districts of Ladakh region, Leh district and Ladakh district. There will be some terms which we have to understand what they are asking for. And yeah, cool, Jivan. So let's focus and what has happened here. This is not good. Do you think statehood should be given to Ladakh region? So violent protest happened. They're asking for sixth, means schedule status as well. These schedules, this we have discussed a lot. We have solved multiple PYQs on schedules. First of all, people, tell me the mnemonic for the schedules. How do you remember schedule? So sixth schedule is confined to 80 Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. They will have six schedule. They will have more autonomy. It's not like they don't have autonomy right now. We'll talk about the issue. They have autonomy. How? They have something which is known as this Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council. So Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council gives them a certain amount of autonomy. It was created by an act of 1995. So what it did was it created two councils. You know, this Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, it created two councils, one in Leh district, other in Kargil district. So they have certain amount of autonomy, but not as much as the people of sixth schedule have. So they want that much autonomy because they want it and they feel like they need it, and it should be given to them at the earliest. So Jiva and Anshika, Pratik, they have given the answer tears of old PM. So sixth schedule they want. And there was a mob which attacked police in this Leh region, and then in quid pro quo, police also attacked, and they led to firing, and that led to so many people dying. And here the thing is, this whole thing, according to who means central government and all, Sonam Wangchuk, he is responsible for it. And why he is responsible? They have talked about certain terms and they have talked about certain rationale how he is responsible. First of all, they want statehood, and then they want Ladakh under sixth schedule. So they are saying that union government, they are saying that it's not like we are not doing anything. We are talking with, and again, these are the terms you have to understand. Like we have talked about one particular key term in this article, LAHDC. The debates, the fight, the protest, everything which is happening, we have our sympathies with Leh and Ladakh, and this is not good. Violence is never the answer of anything. But from exam perspective, LAHDC, we have discussed via an act, it was created. Two councils have been created, Leh district, Ladakh, means Kargil district. Give them autonomy, but not as much as six scheduled states. Then what is this Leh Apex Body and Kargil Democratic Alliance? These are regional bodies. The bodies of, as you can understand, one is a body in Leh district of Kargil means Ladakh, other in the Kargil district of Ladakh, and they are acting as intermediaries. These